Good afternoon. This is How Money Works Masterclass. I am your facilitator for today, Guimont-Martin, and I want to say thank you for hopping on. And if you are watching the replay, thank you as well. And be sure to share this information with whomever you think want to learn how money works. All right, so let's get right into it. This is where you'll learn how to stop being a sucker when it comes to your money. And I'll be your financial educator for the next 30 to 45 minutes or so. And just remember, financial literacy starts here. All right. So you'll get to know the cast of the characters from the How Money Works, Stop Being a Sucker book. And toward the end of this teaching, this time of sharing, I will tell you how you can get a copy of this book. And then for those of you who have registered prior to this recording, your book has already been mailed out to you at the address that you used during registration. And then for everyone else, just toward the end, I'll tell you how you can get a copy of it. If you've read the book, you've already been introduced. You've already been introduced, and here are my favorite one or two. I'm gonna go with Zoe and Sharon. But I've resonated with each of them either directly or through my client. So those two will be my favorites for today. They're proof that there are no, and then there's proof that there's no stupid question when it comes to money. So please feel free to make notes in your book. If you have a question during this webinar, put it in the chat. And if you're watching a replay, by all means, email me or put it in the comment section where you're watching the replay, whether it's on Facebook or if you're on YouTube, and I will definitely respond to everyone's question. All right. Today, we all know how devastating global medical crisis can be. Not knowing about money is an economic version of a global crisis. As you can see right here, financial literacy is the #1 crisis in the world. The financial devastation it has caused to individuals all over the world is immeasurable, and some of it is intentional. The financial industry won't be happy. We're committed to changing that. They're not going to be happy about that, and we'll discuss why. Financial literacy is also the #1 economic crisis in America, as you can see here. Financial illiteracy is at the top of our economic crisis too. Look at these numbers. Can you believe that almost half of Americans don't have enough to cover a $400 emergency or to make their student loan payments on time? And as we all know, some not paying them at all, especially during this time, or to pay off credit cards or even consider retiring. Shara is right how the numbers hurt families every day it's a hard process. Cheryl says, "Oh, those numbers are just hard to even process." And so, let's just look at it. 44% of Americans don't have enough to cover a $400 emergency. In the early 2020, during the beginning set of the onset of the pandemic, with the number of people on unemployment, the stock market being volatile, and so many people were impacted, I'm sure the numbers are even worse than what we see here. But here, the good news for you and everyone who takes this course. With knowledge and action, we can change these numbers. This masterclass is your day one to a new financial reality, a new financial mindset, a new financial future. So no judgment here. This is a judgment-free zone. It is my goal is to help navigate through that. All right. According to the National Financial Educators Council recent survey, U.S. adults lost an average of $1,200 in 2018 because they don't know what they're doing with money. So 1 out of 5 lost $2,500. It's like taking a stimulus check and setting it on fire. I beg to differ that these numbers are even higher because this was prior to the pandemic. Only 21 states make you take at least one class on money in high school, and those that do, they only scratch the surface. They talk with topics like balancing a checkbook, how many 18-year-olds, or 19, 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds, with a checkbook. But so do you think that's enough, just teaching them how to balance a checkbook? What percentage of schools teach sex education, lacrosse, broadcast journalism, robotics? Almost 50 out of 50. You can't make this stuff up. It just makes no sense either. Most of my kids think a personal finance course would benefit them the most. It's hard to find one on your own. That's why we teach this masterclass and give you that book. In a recent survey, American young adults were asked what high school level course would benefit them the most, and majority answered money management or personal finance. Um, so financial literacy is very important to them. All right, so here's the sucker cycle, which you can see here. All right, it's the trap of foolishly spending and low interest saving, and it just goes on and on, month after month, year after year, just slowly sucking away your potential to be wealthy, free, financially free, and in control. Every couple of weeks, the cycle repeats. Extra trip to the grocery store, unnecessary online purchasing, another streaming subscription. Most people know how to earn the money and spend it. We got that down pat. But what about all the other options? It's time to break the sucker cycle. All right, so I want you to check out this snapshot from the book. And, so that's kind of like go over this. So monthly spending habits by the typical American. Eating out $181 a month. And I know some people are cringing because they're like, hey, me and my husband and and 5 or 6 kids, because you got your 2 and then their friends, Just think about it. One dine out experience can cost you $181. Ride shares, $83 a month. And if you live in states like California or New York, where you don't necessarily, you may not have a car, so you Uber and Lyft a lot of different places, or you use the ride share, that number I'm sure is higher. Events, $30 a month. They're definitely not going to certain concerts. I mean, I can't call any names because some concert tickets are well beyond $30. So maybe this is like going to the Little League basketball game or something. Lottery tickets, $74 a month is the national average. Coffees and lattes are national average about $60 a month. So those of you with the at-home fancy K-cup machine where you make your own coffee, you are saving. Um, Alcohol consumption average is about $29 a month. New clothing, $63 a month. So the $63 a month on new clothing, they obviously don't have a house full of gold. And subscription services, $237 a month. That includes your streaming service, your delivery service. On that national average, $237 a month. Yikes. All right. So let's get into some things that I just want to bring to your attention. Think of your retirement like an airplane. It needs both wings to fly. Okay. Social Security and your 401k, if you have one, if you have one, can make up one of the wings. As you see here, we have Social Security at 40% in your 401k. So on that side, you have your one part of the wing. The other wing is completely up to you and all of your responsibility. If you hope to live on at least 70% of your pre-retirement income, you'll need to be serious about what you put away today. Your financial professional can help you decide. I am here to answer any question, but these are some of the things you want to have a conversation with your financial professional about. Okay. And so we can decide what the number is and where to put it. So let's take a look at how Americans are doing with their second wing. All right, so no matter what generation you're part of, I'm a Gen Xer. So no matter what generation you're part of, none of them are saving enough. Remember, the older you are, the less time you have, so you'll need to put more away. Millennials have about $23,000 saved for retirement, $6,000 for the Gen Xers and the baby boomers, 152. So you see there's a shift in saving, and so we're gonna dive into that. If not on this actual masterclass, we're gonna be meeting every Tuesday at 12:30 during the month of April for Financial Literacy Month. And then toward the end of the month, we'll tell you what the schedule is ongoing. So you definitely want to tune in, watch the replays, and share. So we are advocating for financial literacy this month. But as always, we're sharing the information, but particularly we're being very intentional about getting it out this month. Here's an example that will shine a bright light on the numbers and possibility of a savings shortfall. If you don't put enough aside each month at a good enough rate, at a good enough rate of return, your savings can fall short, putting your retirement income and lifestyle at risk. Depending on your shortfall, you might have to re-enter the workforce. You know, that's sometimes when you go in certain stores and you see older people working and you're like, I wonder why they just didn't retire. You know, so hopefully some of them are there because they're bored and they have anything else to do, but not because they had a shortfall in retirement. So depending on your shortfall, you may have to re-enter the workforce, cut back on your lifestyle, live on less, or move in with your kids. Move in with your kids. How does that sound? So see the shortfall? The gray area there between what you save and how much you need, it should be the focus of every American and their financial professional to close the gap. And so that's what we do here. We teach you how money works so that we can help you close the financial gap, the shortfall. All right. So I want you to, take a look at these. You can screenshot them, take a picture of them. Here's what it looked like when you nail it, when the gap is closed. your retirement saving goal is reached. This person will have a reliable income because they saved the amount necessary and got the rate of return necessary to reach the saving required to make the retirement that they had imagined possible. So putting things in place so that they could, retire the way that they wanted to. There could even be money left over to leave as a legacy. To your children, grandchildren. How does that sound? You can work with your financial professional to figure out what your numbers need to be. All right. All right. So, are you having fun yet? So just kind of, like I said, you'll need to get on every week to get different tidbits. And so this next tip is one that I'm excited about. So we're gonna close, this will be our last part of it. And we're gonna close, the closing on class, which is my favorite part. Time to learn about the rule of 72. Um, have any of you ever heard of it before? It is a little known mental math shortcut that the wealthy have used for years. Everyone should know it. So in the rule of 72, you simply divide any interest rate into the number 72, and it tells you how long it takes for money to double. It works for you if you save it, and it works against you if you borrow money. So the rule of 72, it works for you if you save money, it works against you if you borrow money. At least one, so let's just take at least 1%. It takes 72 years for $1 to turn into $2. That's a long time. Will anyone knowingly choose that on purpose? Keep that in mind. We'll come back to it. So 72 divided by the 1% interest rate equals 72. As you can see, the better the rate of return you get, the faster your money can double. At 3% every 24 years, at 6% every 12 years, at 9% every 8 years, and at 12% every 6 years. So that's more like it. All right. So here's another way to look at it in terms of the number double. Here's another way. In the terms of the numbers double. You could have the number of doubles you can have over your lifetime. At 1%, you'll be lucky if you live long enough to get get one double. At 6%, you could have 4 doubles, and at 12%, it could be as many as 8 doubles. Each double is twice the money, so each double counts. If you look on the chart here, like I said, you can screenshot this, take a picture of it. Every percentage point matters, every double count. Take a look, Zoe. You need more than 9% interest and almost 7 doubles to reach $1 million by the time you're 67. And so that's one of the reasons why I say the younger you are when you start, the better. But hey, there's hope for all of us. All right, so remember the question a few slides back about 1%? All right, so would anyone choose 72 years for their stuff to double? Oh yeah, because people don't know how money works. There's almost $10 trillion sitting in a passbook savings account. That's an average of 10%. 0.10%, it makes a difference. 10% and 0.10% is a huge difference. So that is a fraction of 1%. So when CNBC did a review of our book a few months ago, this is one of the things they pointed out to be almost unbelievable. If you divide 0.10%, not 10%, but 0.10% into 72, you're looking at 720 years for your account to double. By the year 2740, 2740, as Joyce says. His great, 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 great grandchildren will love it. You won't know nothing about it. And just so we're clear, this is the same place that gives you that 0.10% can charge you 16%, so 16.0% or more for a credit card. That means their money is doubling every 4.5 years. Now you see why the subtitle of the book is Stop Being a Sucker. You need to know how money works today, not tomorrow, but today. And remember, I said I'll tell you at the end how to get your copy of the book. Of course, the bank will give you a lollipop for your trouble for waiting in line to make a deposit. And what brand is it usually? Yep, Dum Dum. We just can't make this stuff up. It's like they're trying to tell you without telling you, but you just don't know the code. So you can also use this to figure out what return you'll need for a savings goal or what a loan will cost you. So this is not the time to be sucker-minded. This is the time to apply the rule of 72 to all of your finances like wealthy-minded people do. All right. The rule of 70. Some people that, saying they're going to continue to be a sucker, they're going to say the rule of 72 sounds like math and boring. The wealthy is going to say math rocks. The rule of 72 is simple, powerful, and practical, especially if they're going to put it into action. All right. So we're at the conclusion of today's course. Principles like you just learned will bring up questions like the ones you'll see on the screen here. Should you use a bank account? What are other safe options? Should you refinance a loan at a lower rate? What can you do to help make more doubles possible? A financial professional is the best person to turn to for questions like these and others. We can discuss this with you if you don't have someone to help you. If you don't have someone or need help choosing someone, just reach out to me and I'll definitely point you in the right direction. All right, so that concludes our class for today. Like I mentioned earlier, next Tuesday and every Tuesday in this month, we are going to be right back here at 12:30 Central Standard Time. And remember, you can share the invitation, invite as many people as you like. If you're watching the replay on Facebook or YouTube or listening to it on Clubhouse, please make sure that you like and subscribe to the platform. If you have any questions, you can put it in the comment section there, or you can text 985-326-9297. And also, if you were referred by a business partner of ours, please reach back out to them and let them know that you were on the class, and if you have some questions or some concerns, or text me and I'll make sure that I respond and reach out to you and get you connected with the person that referred you to this webinar. It's been great, and I look forward to seeing you guys on next Tuesday at 12:30 Central Standard Time. Remember, learn how money works and stop being a sucker.